They won by 45 points, they scored 7 tries, debutants dotted down, but for Rassie Erasmus, it still wasn't enough. In a match that most would label a blowout, the Springbok boss made it clear, he's not entirely impressed. Not with the execution, not with the errors, and not with the rhythm. So why is a 55-10 win over Georgia still raising red flags inside the Boks camp? South Africa may have smashed Georgia 55-10 in Mngomezulu, but Rassie Erasmus isn't sugarcoating the result. The Springboks were disrupted, messy, and far from clinical, according to the coach, especially in the finer areas of execution. The match saw a brand new front row debut, Boom Venter, Marnus van der Merwe, and Neefling Fouché. While van der Merwe was nearly flawless at line-out time and scored 2 tries, and Venter also got on the scoreboard, Erasmus still wasn't fully sold. "I think they did fairly well," he said. "It's interesting to put new guys out in a game like this, and you look at the scrums and they did okay, but then there are some general play errors, how to stop them all, and there are guys in sync with us." He added, "We saw that early on, and I know Sia was also off for that maul try. A maul is just as technical as a scrum sometimes, and then in general defense, they made some errors, but you can't look at the scrums in isolation. But some errors in general attack, ball carries, clear out, and so on, so we had seen enough by that point." There were also concerns at fly half, where Feinberg-Mngomezulu missed his first 3 conversions and looked off rhythm. Rassie revealed that the young pivot was injured in the warm-up, but still wanted to play. Sasha is not necessarily the first choice. Number 10 we have Maney, who is pretty much on song, and we saw with Andre when he came on that he is pretty solid. You can't just look at his goal kicking. In the warm-up, he got a hip pointer injury and we weren't quite sure if we should push him through the game, but he wanted to play. That's not an excuse for the way he kicked at pulls. We like guys that try things and not just play safe, and he's certainly not one of the guys that made the most errors because of the disruptive way Georgia plays. Even with those caveats, Erasmus reiterated there's more to be expected. Georgia were physical and disruptive, but that's not an excuse for us making so many errors. We are fairly happy, but we can always do better. Reflecting on the first 4 matches of the season, Erasmus was cautiously optimistic, but with a clear edge of dissatisfaction. We scored close to 50 points in each match, but if we chop and change teams like we have as we're building squad depth, you'll lose rhythm. It was a stop-start game, but what we expected from them was physicality and being disruptive, and they certainly did that. In the end, the guys handled it, but it wasn't a performance where we did that for 80 minutes. We found that again in the last 20 minutes, and we can be fairly happy with the scoreline, although one can always do better. So here's the question. When Rassie wins by 45 and still isn't satisfied, is that elite standard setting, or is there something deeper missing in this Boks squad? Are these experiments worth the errors? Or is South Africa losing rhythm right before the Rugby Championship? Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Green and Gold Army News, where we read between the tries.